Hey guys, it's Bailey. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in for today's video where I'm going to go from this to this. I am channeling my inner 90s child, so if you want to see how to get this monochromatic look, let's go ahead and dive in. So first I'm starting with foundation, which is very unlike me. Today I am using the Huda Beauty Faux Filter High Coverage Foundation. Mine is in the shade Custard or 220N, and I'm applying that using the Wet n Wild P55 brush. I recently talked about these in a What's New from Wet n Wild video. If you want to go check out my thoughts on the entire new brush line, I will link that down below, or you can click the little eye up here in the corner. But I just buffed that in everywhere. I love how full coverage it is, but if you find that you need a little bit something to thin it out because it's in fact too full coverage, I recommend mixing a little bit of a primer or your oil of choice in with it to thin it out a little bit. Next, for a little extra coverage in my under eye area, I'm concealing with Estee Lauder's Double Wear Waterproof All Day Extreme Wear Concealer. Mine is the shade 1C Light Cool. I just take one tiny drop, split between my two ring fingers, and go and pat that in my under eye area. To set all that, I'm going in with a rediscovered love that I found through decluttering. This is the Lancome Radiant Smoothing Powder in Absolute Peche. And with a P70 brush, I'm just buffing that in all over my skin, not only to set everything, like I said, but it just gives my skin like this lit from within glow. Now I'm just priming my eyes with PUR's Get a Grip Endurance Eyeshadow Primer, and in case you're wondering what is on my nails, because I get questions about this all the time, these are press-ons from the brand Static Nails. The particular shade is called Dusty Rose, and they're in a coffin shape, which I have been loving for the shape of my hands. I feel like it just really elongates my fingers. Now onto the shadows. I'm going in with a new quad from Almay. They recently came out with a ton of these, and I think they sent me all the shades, but the premise is that you get 4 different finishes in one shade, so it's a pretty perfect palette for a monochromatic look. Although I will say some of the finishes aren't as distinct in some of the colors, so in some quads it feels like you're getting more like 2 different finishes as opposed to 4. But in this look, I am using the shade Individualist, or number 170, and I first took the deepest matte shade and I ran that through my crease. And I did that using one of the new Wet n Wild Pro brushes. The number is P20. Then for the lid, I went to the shade right next door, which is kind of the most high shine in this quad, and I used a Wet n Wild brush from the same collection, the P15, to pat that across my lid. The pigmentation is pretty good with these, but I definitely recommend using a primer. The stickier the better, which is why I use the PUR primer here. But in this look, I am using the shade Individualist, or number 170, and I first took the deepest matte shade and I ran that through my crease. Now it's time for the glitter. I'm using one of my favorites from Urban Decay. This is their Heavy Metal Glitter Liner in the shade Midnight Cowboy. And when I first did this on the look that I posted to Instagram, it was more like a thick line across my lash line with a little dot in the center on my lower lash line. You could totally do that, but I just want to change things up, change the placement up a little bit, and so I put this in the center of my lid, starting at my lash line, working up a little bit, as well as that center dot on the lower lash line too. Get creative, do what you want. There are no rules, especially when we're playing with glitter. Then last for the eyes, I'm going in with mascara and slapping a couple coats of Maybelline's Total Temptation Mascara on both my top and bottom lashes. For the cheeks, I am going all in on bronzer. This is Pixi's Glow and Bronze palette. I am going in with the lightest matte shade in this palette, and I'm bronzing up the hollows of my cheeks, the perimeter of my face, and I'm not being light-handed about it. Then instead of blush, I am actually just gonna go into the highlight shade here. There's a gorgeous bronzy highlight shade that I'm going in on and applying to the tops of my cheekbones and bringing that all the way down to the apples of my cheeks too. To do that, I am using a Wet n Wild brush from the same collection. It is the P60. And last but definitely not least are the lips. For this look, I am using a Smashbox Always On liquid lipstick. They recently sent me this along with a couple of other brand new nude shades in the collection. So if you were looking for your perfect nude, that's a good way to go. I apply just one coat of this, pretty pigmented, so I do one coat of that, and the lips and the look are done. So that's it for this look, guys. I really hope you enjoyed seeing it all come together. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.